Hello there, it's Jay here from Jay's Vintage Junk, and we've had a package in the mail. Now this, I've not been buying a lot of stuff on eBay recently, especially vintage computer related stuff because of the prices. But every now and again you spot something that's reasonable and it's something you kind of want for one reason or another, and we've got a situation here now. Let me get something I can open this with. Scalpel here, that'll do. And what we've got here, nothing fancy or interesting really. We've got an old mouse, and it's the only reason I bought this is because of the branding on it really. It's for a computer which I need to get back out onto the channel and finish off and see if we can do some more work. So I really want this computer set up and actually working. There we go. Like I said, I didn't pay very much for this. I think it was like 7 or 8 quid including the postage, so as vintage computer stuff goes, it was fairly cheap, especially considering the last time I tried to get one of these, it went for silly money, but it was with a couple of other vintage mice. And it's a very classic shape. But no, it's not an Amiga mouse. Rather nicely packed as well from the seller. I've got to kudos for the packing. At least some bubble wrap and what have you, not just thrown in a bag, especially when you're cheapy like this. But we have an Apricot. If you have watched the channel, you know I like my ACT Apricot stuff. The original, like the XI series, and what I want this for, which is my Zen. I've got an Apricot Zen, which is still a little bit poorly. It still has floppy drive issues, but apart from that, it was to actually put it back together. It does basically work. Not with its original RL hard drive. I've actually got a couple of gig SCSI hard drive in it, so I can put as much software on there as I want, and it's a really nice, 386 SX16. It's of a nice era of computing that I really like messing with. And although this isn't, it might be a very slightly later mouse, but I believe these were used with the Apricot Zen. The early Zens had something really weird and wonderful. It looked like a wand, kind of like that, and instead of, it was more like a trackpad, and you can move your hand around it like that. I would really love to find one of those, or even better is the earlier version that was with the Apricot XI and the Apricot Portable, which I believe was like a wireless version of it, as they used infrared to communicate between the keyboards and the computers. And I believe the mouse was also the same. I'd love to get hold of one of them so I could actually play with Gem Desktop on my ACT Portable properly. One day I will have a look at see if I can get my Apricot XI up and running as well. And again, I'd love to have that with a mouse so I could actually mess with Gem Desktop on it. But when them mice do come up, they sell for a horrific amount of money. Like I said, this I managed to pick up cheap, and it does go nicely with my XEN-S. Reason this was cheap, it was sold as spares or repair, not working. I've just noticed this is actually missing a screw there, and that screw isn't in very well. It's above where the actual glide things are there, so that would scuff up your surface no end. Let's have a quick look inside it. And to be honest, it looks like it's clean in there, so I wonder if someone's had a go at cleaning it, couldn't get it working, and then gave up and banged it on eBay. That is a ridiculously light mouse ball as well. I was expecting that to have a little bit more heft to it. That's just like a rubber ball. It hasn't got a ball bearing in it or anything like a lot that we find. But it appears to be the right size. it does fit. First thing we should do, let's actually see if this thing works or not. See, it was sold as spares or repair, but a lot of times on eBay people just do that because they just can't be bothered. They even haven't got the ability to test it, being we've got a serial connection. This is a serial mouse. Or they just don't want the comeback if it does work and then it just stops working. So a lot of people will just sell it as spares or repair. So let's bring something in we can test this with. And what we're going to use, ooh, we will use my Packard Bell here. Now this is a very late 90s. I think this is from 1999, or it might just be 2000. I think this is 1999, but it's a really nice, you know, kind of a portable bridge PC as I describe it. It's also a really nice retro gaming laptop because it's got a really good 4.3 TFT screen on it. There is, you know, no messing about, there's no blurring on this. It's a really good screen. It's got AMD, I think it's a K5 or a K6 CPU if I remember correctly. It's great for Quake, Doom, you know, anything, any MS-DOS, early like Windows 98 type gaming. This thing is brilliant for, you know, gaming on the go. The only slight thing with it now is that, you know, it's 24 years old and the battery in it does not last anymore. It does need a new battery, or at least maybe to rebuild the battery pack in it. But it also, one of the really nice things, it does have proper serial on it. If we have a look on the back there, we have all the proper legacy ports. We've got PS2, that's keyboard or mouse port, or you can use a little Y adapter I think to get both. VGA, proper parallel, and a proper 9-pin serial. So we will plug that in the 9-pin serial there. Let's get the laptop back up. Alright, okay. And this is basically set up, it's got Windows 98 on it, but it's been set up in such a way that it basically behaves like a older DOS Windows installation. So it actually boots into DOS first, and then you can load Windows from there. We'll switch on, and it uses a, you know, proper DOS mouse driver, so it should be able to pick this mouse up no problem. We'll just let the computer boot up. Right, let's see if it's picked up this mouse or not. So, the easiest thing is just to go into Windows. Oh, it's having a little hissy fit, never mind. Exit that. And are we going to have a functioning mouse? Is it going to work at all, or is it going to just have a bad button on it or something? Come on, computer. I think this might need a fresh installation of Windows. I think it is taking rather a while to load up. It shouldn't. Ah, there we go. Right. Have we got any functionality? Not moving so far. Let's give it a minute, because sometimes it might need to reload the drivers, being that I probably, if I have used a mouse on this before, it might have been a PS2 one. Have we got any sign of action there? Nope. No sign of activity from the buttons. Nope. And we've got no movement at all there. So it doesn't. Let's have a quick flex about of the cable while we move it around, see if that brings anything in. But no. Looks like we have a deceased mouse. Right, let's shut the computer back down. I'll shut that down and we'll get that out of the way for the moment. And I'll get you down onto the desk. There we go, and get you zoomed in a bit. There we are. Right, let's have a look at this mouse. Now, it doesn't look, unless, I don't know, has someone been in here, has someone tried to get in here, because that's been messed about with there. But that's completely over on that side. It doesn't look like it's just been stuck back down. That's odd. And we've got a screw missing there. Right, let me get a screwdriver and let's see if we can get in this thing and have a wee look, see what's happening. Because that screw there, that's not right. That's sticking out. That's not actually... That's tight in there now. That's how it should be. So let's take that screw out. And it's held with them screws. Let's get rid of this warranty void if removed sticker, because it's already well void. And that's odd because it didn't feel like that had been pulled away from that side there. Let's just see screw wise. The screws are the same length. Have to be careful with something like this with the wedge shape. The screws at the back there aren't going to be longer than the screws at the front. But no, I'm wondering who made this mouse actually, because I'm sure it's not Apricot. It'll be someone else's mouse just rebadged. Let's get inside and let's have a look. And it might actually. Oh, there! Straight away we know who made this. This is a Logitech. So we've got the Logitech chip right there. I wonder if we can date it. Right, I am guessing from that there, 9123. This is from 1991. So it would be very, very late for a mouse for the Zen. Is it a XEN-S that I've got? Let me just have a quick look. Yeah, it's a Zen Model S. So yeah, it's right at the end of when like the Zen Model S that I've got, the wedge-shaped one. I suppose yeah, it's probably is right for it, but it's right at the end of when they stopped making them, and I think Mitsubishi bought the company, and they completely changed the styles of the systems. What we've got. Buttons don't feel bad. There's quite a lot going on in here compared with a more modern mouse. There was obviously a 3-button version of this. If we look, so we've got a the switch there, but there's actually space in the middle there where there would have been a third switch for a 3. Basically, the same PCB used in a different case with a third button there for a 3-button mouse. But this is the MB Mouse Revision A. I'm hoping that something really, really simple. First thing I'm going to do actually is we're going to bell out this this cable. I'll try and disconnect that from there. Let me get a screwdriver or something I can gently prise that with, because I don't want to risk breaking that connector. So we'll just get a screwdriver just to help us pry them two apart like that. We'll pull that off. We'll put that to one side for now. And what we're going to do is we're going to bell out these connections, because I'm wondering whether it could be as simple as we have got a bad connection on this, because this is this is what gets flexed all the time. This is what gets flexed all the time. And it could be as simple as that, in which case it could be a really nice easy fix this. Or it could be there's something wrong in there and it's going to be a little bit more in depth. Right, we can get the Get the test meter in shot. I'll just set that down to dial mode. It doesn't really matter, a continuity buzzer would do for this. Right, can you see what's on that screen? You can't, can you? If I turn that like that, now you can see it on there. And I'll just have to look at my monitor to see it myself. Right, let's start. We'll start with the white wire there. So if I push that in there like that, I'll just make sure that that's working. You can see that's gone to 0. Right. And then what I need to do is start probing around on here and see if we find that pin. There we go. So that one's okay. We'll move along to the next one. And we'll start again. Got it there, and there it is. So we've got that one. Let's move down one. Again, we've got that one. Move down one. So we've got a good connection there. Again, we've got that. So we're running out of, we've got 2 more to go. Hello. We haven't got anything there, have we? And that is, now that is the ground wire, interestingly enough. Oh, so hang on, it could be, yeah, it's the case. Right, so 1 wire to go. This isn't looking good, is it? This isn't looking good. I don't think there's a fault with this. Nope, there we go. So that's all the wires tested between that connection there and that connection there. So we know that the cable's okay, the cable's actually good. Which means our fault, unfortunately, is somewhere in here. So let us delve a little bit further. We do have some electrolytic capacitors on there that could possibly be at fault. 50 volt at 1 UF there, and I think 100 UF at 16 volts there. I can't see anything else actually. We've got some, well, to be honest, if we had just like a bad infrared diode or something, that wouldn't stop the entire mouse from working. It'd just mean that one direction wasn't working. In fact, even if all the diodes there weren't working, the left and the right mouse buttons would still do something, and they're not. So it could indeed actually be that Logitech chip there, unfortunately, which is bad. That would be a shame, because I think the only place I would find one of them is out of another one of these Logitech mice. I'm just looking on the bottom at the moment for basically for dry joints or anything like that, where it's basically been it's been abused. I'm not sure actually there. Let me just grab my other glasses that are a bit stronger. No, those solder joints actually look fairly good. We'll look at all the solder joints around the infrared parts as well while we're in here. But again, all those look pretty damn good. Let's have a look at all the joints around the IC. Again, they all look pretty good. I can't honestly say I can see anything on there that looks instantly like a problem. Or do we have indeed a bad... Got a couple of transistors there, but they're just going to be buffers for like the infrared LEDs. I don't think those are going to be the issue. I could see if those capacitors are dead short. That'd be an easy test, I suppose. Let me get the meter so you can see it. In fact, I'll have to get you zoomed out a little bit, I think. Oops, that way. Right, okay. Now, can you see that meter there okay? Yes, you can. And this is not a hard and fast test for a capacitor, but you can get an idea. Oops. Try it the other way around. Well, that capacitor looks like it's 100% open circuit. Let's check my... yeah. That's at 1 UF at 50 volts, and that looks like it is completely and totally open circuit. That's odd. So we can get on there and... yeah. Let's have a look at... in fact, let's even try it on the back of the board just in case I was not making a good enough contact then. Yeah, that capacitor appears to be totally open circuit by the look of it. Let's just quickly check that other electrolytic there, which is there, between there and there. But that's more what I was expecting to see. You see that there, how it's charging up. We've got some resistance showing there, but we've actually got a reading across it. Let's try the other way. But that seems okay. Yeah, that's charging up. So, but it looks like that one might be completely open circuit by the look of it, because it's not doing anything. It doesn't seem to be charging. What I'd have to do actually to test it properly is pull it off the board and actually put it on my capacitor. In fact, let's do that. Let's pop that capacitor off the board and we'll actually test it on the capacitance checker. That's probably the best thing we can do. We've got some Zener diodes on here as well. We can at least see if those are those aren't short or open circuit, but let's try it that way around. Again, it's not always ideal to test these parts in circuit, but that seems okay. Let's quickly test these two. Nothing that way. Nothing that way. And I should conduct in this direction. There we go. Those are working. That seems okay. That seems okay. I'm just testing the other way around. That's alright. And that's okay. Oh, it's got one more here. That's okay. Now, hang on. Have I got anything there? Let's try it that way around. Oh no, that one's fine as well. Yeah, so only a rough and ready test, but the diodes seem okay. The only thing that's slightly suspect to me is that capacitor there. So let's whip that out of circuit. We'll pull out the tester and we'll give that a quick test. So I'll just pause you while I get the soldering iron out and warmed up. So we'll be back in a sec. Right, okay, we've got everything we need. We've got the tester there. Let's pop this out of the board. Alright, positive that way, negative that way. And we'll just test it out of circuit. There we go. It doesn't look bad or anything. It doesn't really look like it's been leaking or anything. But let's test it out of circuit. And it is just 1 microfarad at 50 volts. This one. Okay. And let's press the button and see what it says. Alright, it says cat 1 to 3 999.6 nanofarads, which is close to 1 UF, so I think that might actually be fine, that. Seeing it's out, do we just stick a new one in there for, in fact, let me grab a brand new one. That's pretty much bang on what it should be, but let me just quickly grab a new one. There we go. Ooh. And we've got a brand new one there. It is slightly bigger, and it's actually slightly bigger voltage rating, but it won't matter if we put this one in. Let's just check what the rating is, what it's coming up as. Let's see there. That's even worse, I think. Could be some corrosion on them leads, because these are slightly corroded leads on them from sitting. Let's try that again. Well, it's telling me I've got a diode there, so hang on a minute. Right, let's try that one more time. There we go. It's pretty much about the same as what the one we pulled out is, to be honest. So we may as well just shove that one back in there. Let's get that back in the holes. Set it back up. And just remelt the solder till the legs come back through. There we go. That one's back in the board exactly as it was when it came out. We'll just go around. Seeing we're in here, I can't see anything else wrong at all. I'm tempted just to reflow these pins. I couldn't see any micro cracks or anything in the soldering, but it's not going to do any harm. Literally just to go back over these but it does look, unfortunately, if this doesn't work, then we've probably got a bad IC in there. So I guess I'll be looking for old Logitech mice and see if I can find something I can salvage that IC from. Okay, there we go. It's not going to do any harm just to quickly go over them IC pins again. I said I've reflowed that. There really isn't anything else I can see on there. It'll just stop us getting at least some form of activity from the mouse. Unfortunately, I'm suspecting we might have a bad IC. It's like the most common likely cause of this to fail is the cable, or unfortunately that IC there. Anyway, I'll get this thing back together, we'll pull the laptop back out and we'll see if that's made any improvement. And I'll say, unfortunately, if it hasn't, it does look like I'll be trying to hunt down probably a scrap one of these mice, or at least a scrap Logitech version, to salvage that IC from. So I'll say back in a sec. Right, okay, we're all set back up. Got the laptop back out again. Got the mouse plugged into it. So let's power the laptop up. And let's see if it detects the mouse. Everything seems to be going the way it was before. Let's try Windows. In fact, it has changed it, because it's now saying some mouse set up on COM1, as where it was just detecting the internal PS2 mouse before. So, is this going to work? I just have to wait for Windows to load. In fact, I've got a mouse test program on here. I should have used that instead, but seeing we've just started Windows, let's let this load, and we will see. We'll see whether this mouse works. In fact, I think I've got Doom on here, so we could load Doom up, because that's a good test. In fact, that's what the last thing I think I used a serial mouse on this computer for, was playing Doom. Has it crashed? I just wonder if the computer's crashed then. Bear with me a second, folks. I will be right back. Right, well, I don't know what's going on with Windows. I think this thing's going to need a reinstall, because it gets so far into Windows and then just locks up. Don't matter what I try. And you saw when I started this video, it loaded Windows absolutely fine. So I don't know what's going on there, but that's by the by. Let's load that mouse test program up, and we'll actually see whether this thing is going to function or not. So let's go with it. Let's try. Right, so moment of truth. Is the mouse going to do anything? Yes, it does. As you can see there, we can move around. Excellent. And both mouse buttons work. Actually, they feel really nice clicking mouse buttons as well. Right, so that works. Let's exit. Okay, CD backslash. Let's see. I think I've got Doom on here. Oh no, let's see what we've got on here. We've got Wolf 3D. I'm sure we've got Doom on here. Yeah. Let us see whether the mouse will work with Doom. Unfortunately, I have no speakers connected up, so I don't think we'll get any audio, but look at that. Okay, nice one. Options. Mouse sensitivity, we might want to turn that up. Yeah, that feels a bit better. Right, end game. Escape, right. Oh, there we go, new game. Deep in the Dead, let's have a play. Yes, that works. It works as well as this is not normally how I would play Doom, just on the mouse like this. I tend to use the cursor keys to there we go. But that seems to be working quite nicely. Yeah, excellent. So we seem to have a working mouse. So what was wrong with it then? Did we just have a dry joint on that connector? I'm really not sure. Let's get out of this. Escape there. Quick game. Yes. We'll switch the computer off because I don't need that just now. So yeah, did we just have a dry joint somewhere that I couldn't see? Because you saw when we first tried this, we was getting no response for it at all. And yeah, that seems to be working now. That's really good, especially considering, like I said, this thing cost me under a tenner. Let me see if we can find a screw. Where's my pot of many screws? I also like the candidate there. Oh, look at that. You can't see what I'm doing. Bang on. So there we go. 4 screws in there now. And I have rather I might give it a bit of a clean, to be honest. I won't bother doing it on this video. I'm not really one of these ones that's like massively precious about making them absolutely pristine or anything, but I'll probably give this a wipe over, just get, you know, the worst of the dross off it. It's actually not horribly yellowed or anything. It's actually in really, really nice condition. I wonder if that spent like many years sat in someone's desk drawer until they finally decided to get rid of it. It doesn't look that, if you look from underneath or on the side, it's not horrifically yellowed. It's got a few marks and scuffs on it which will easily clean off. Same with the cable. It's not in bad condition. It's not all mashed up or anything. It just needs a little bit of a clean with like some citric juice or something like that on a rag, and just rub it along the cable a few times, and that'll all come off. I don't want to rub too much, because what I don't want to do is risk rubbing the Apricot logo off there, because that's the whole reason I bought this. Is like I say, it would be probably used on the very last of the Apricot XEN-S systems, and that's what I've got over there. So it will make a really nice addition to that system. All I need to do now is find a genuine Apricot keyboard, and possibly even a genuine Apricot VJ monitor, but that's pushing it a little bit. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there for now. I hope you enjoyed this little video watching me fiddle about with this Apricot stroke Logitech like wedge style, I suppose you can call it a tank style mouse. So I'll say hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.